So I guess, first of all, tell me about these fantastic suits that you're wearing.
Ah, the mocap suits.
Yeah, well, as you can see, they're called motion capture suits.
Okay.
What they do is these little balls right here, yeah, they capture your major parts of your body, so your hip bones, your elbows, knees, thighs, stuff like that. And it paints a picture for the computer of the outline of your body, and then they use that data to build your character. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Is it a complicated outfit to put on?
It's not. It's very stretchy, and you know, my dreams of being Catwoman one day have come true in a way. No, it's really not. What's complicated is more for the gentlemen who put the markers on, because they've got to hit all the joints at the right spot. And what's really cool is that before you actually go to work, you come into the volume and you have to what's called ROM in, which is range of motion. And so you've got like a series of motions that you do where you test all the joints, and you make sure that basically that the camera is reading. So if a marker is in the wrong spot, then what they see on the television is that our arm is backwards, or we have a foot up here, or our head's like this, and it's really, really funny.
So the only time it's actually complicated is when Kate wants to go to the bathroom. Because as you can see, it's a lot of work to take everything off.
Is often. It's the excitement of the job.
That's the best part. That's the only complicated part about the suits. Going to the bathroom.
Yes.
For me, I tend to, when I stand, I lean to my right. And I see that in the game. And I can see my fingers in the game. If I'm pointing to something specific, I can see that. It's pretty detailed. It's pretty detailed.
It's so detailed.
Yeah.
And to the point, it's so detailed that our director will say, cut, go again, it's not ringing true.
Yeah.
So something that specific that you'd sort of take for granted that, oh, it's animation, it's not going to be picked up, it's not really going to matter. But if we're not connecting, it completely reads. It completely reads, and I mean, that's what's so incredible about the detail.
Now, there are a few things in the video game world that you cannot do. For example, like it's difficult for them to animate when you have your arms crossed and stuff like that. So, like, there is rules we do have to follow, but for the main part, the technology is so amazing that it picks up all nuances, little things such as leaning, such as hands on hips, and you know, even if your eyes are just changing slightly to look at a character in a different area, it picks all of that up. And the camera work with the motion, when it captures your coverage, when you capture your coverage, they see all those moments. All those moments, it makes you and it forces you to be true at every moment in the scene, even when you don't have a line and you're just being present. You still have to be aware of yourself because the cameras are all around and it's picking up everything.
How does this differ from, say, acting in any other kind of medium, say acting on stage or acting on television? It's a different experience, obviously.
For sure. It's a different experience in terms of, you know, when you go to set, usually what you've got everything sort of laid out for you. There's not really a lot to create in sensory. I mean, you know, I just shot a mini-series and there was a plane crash, and when I walked down to the field, there was a plane crashed, and so it's right there. Now in this setting, we've got to create it. We've got to create sort of what we're hearing, what we're feeling, what we're seeing on the SMI, which is a huge thing, which is our table that we use, our console. When we manipulate information, when Dwayne brings up maps or anything like that, we've got to see what's going on when really there's nothing there. So there's a real challenge to creating our environment.
I think for me the thing about performance capture is it's the rawest form of acting next to theater, because in theater, yes, you're on stage and you're working with a live audience, but here it's like there's no audience, there's barely any props, and it's just you one-on-one with other actors, and it's like it's just raw and it's just all your imagination, and everything else is projected in your own mind, and you just have to be present. That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, and that's the greatest thing, is that really what you have to rely on is each other. And so you've got your team, and you know, we're all there telling this story together as truthfully as we can in this created environment. It's wild. It blows your mind.
It's almost like the old school story of cops and robbers when you were kids.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I shot you first. No, I shot you. And it's like you're so in the moment. You believe, like, no, I'm the cop, you're the robber. And it's like that's what it is. It's like we're in the moment and it's just raw. Everything's just there, and you're there with your actor friend, and you're just doing it. So.
And how much information are you given about your characters ahead of time? How do you create that image that's in your head of how they look, how they must act, how they walk?
Well, we're given a full script breakdown. I mean, like the actual script itself, if they were to package everything together, it's like almost 800 to 1,000 pages. But they break it down into missions, and what we do is we shoot them section by section. So like every month we'll come in, and you'll get an overall consensus of, okay, this is the missions we're doing for this week that we're going to be filming, and you go through it like you would a normal film and television script. Right. And before that, you get your character breakdown and what your character's like, how they're supposed to be presented, what information they have, and how vital they are to the story. So it's all presented just like film and television would be, but it's just broken down into increments because of the mass of the project itself.
Yeah, and specifically for my character and for Sam Fisher, being recurring characters through the Splinter Cell series, auditioning for Anna was basically, I got my sides from my agent, and she said, "You're auditioning to be Grim." And I thought, "You're kidding me! Like, this is an iconic woman in video gaming." And really, what you do, they say it to actors all the time, you go in and you be you in this role, and that's what I did. The coolest thing, though, is that they give you her story. And you read that story, and it sits in you, and you read it again, and I've been playing Conviction, the video game before this one. I've been playing it, and I've been getting a sense of her. We learn things about interactions, but we also discover new things about our characters along the way, which is so great because we've got 4 supremely strong actors who are completely open. So you might discover something about, wow, I didn't realize we had that sort of camaraderie, or I didn't realize we were allies. And then we have this whole sense of discovery as a team as we go. So for the older characters, it's been established, and we've got that history that we bring into our performance. And then our newer characters, it's wonderful.
Yeah, for me, I'm a newer character to the video game franchise. So, and basically, as Isaac Briggs in the game, to put it in easier terms, I'm Robin to Sam Fisher's Batman. So whenever he goes out on a mission, and if he needs cover fire, or if he's in trouble, I'm the guy to help him out or rescue him, or whatever the situation may be. I'm his cover fire, and basically I'm a sniper man. But there's times where I get on the ground and we're fighting side by side in co-op mode. So that's one of the best aspects about it. But as a character, I got to bring whatever I wanted to the table because the character was brand new to the game, new to the franchise. So, and they had an idea of what they wanted for Isaac Briggs to be like. So I brought that idea, and I brought my own idea of what they wanted, and they loved it. And it's been fun playing Isaac Briggs, I must say. Best Anna Grimsdaughter. I mean,
He's just saying that.
I'm not saying that. I'm not just saying that.